Nate, when you pitch on Sunday, it's either going to be to send this team to the World Series or keep the season alive. I mean, as a competitor, is that like the peak of opportunities, I guess, to have that? You know?
Yeah. I mean, you said it right there. It's either stay alive or we're going to the World Series. So, I think that's why we set the rotation the way we did and everything the way we lined it all up. Monty's been throwing the ball great. He's on the mound again for us today, and then, I got to make sure that I come in ready to go. And I don't think you really change up too much of what we did before. Mechanically, I felt like I was a little off that game, so I feel like I made that adjustment, and hopefully I'll be able to locate my pitches a little bit better, and again go out there and leave it all out there for that game.
Second row on your left, Nate. Here in the second row.
Hey, can you talk to the point that these are the type of games that you always want to be in?
Yes.
This is what you guys live for. Some people might not understand it, be so nerve-wracking, but this is what it's all about.
Yeah, I mean, this is it right here. We're 2 wins away from going to the World Series. We're on a really good stretch right there where we won 7 in a row. Monty set the tone opening up the series, and I was able to follow that up, and we're kind of right back to that situation today. Have Monty go out there, and again, that's what ultimately I don't know what it is. I enjoy facing the hottest teams. I fully believe that pitching wins championships. We're able to put teams in a funk, go out there and we set the tone early. You're locating your pitches and you're attacking the hitters. You don't give in. Obviously, you're going to pitch a little differently depending on how aggressive they're going to come out swinging and things like that. But that's what you prepare for and that's what you get ready for.
Coach was asked if this roller coaster season prepared your team for this series. How do you see that? And if you could touch on the confidence level that you guys still have at this point.
Yeah, I mean, we've been playing really good baseball. Again, I think it's the pitching. The last 2 games we haven't come out and thrown the ball as well as we've shown that we can. We've given up the runs early in the game, and I think our offense has done an incredible job in fighting back. I mean, they've given us an opportunity to win every game. Whether it's the 3rd inning or the 7th, they've found a way to make it a close game again, and defense has been outstanding. It's just, back on the pitching to make sure that we go out there and we do our job and we attack the hitters. And again, I think it starts with the rotation. We're able to go out there and set the tone and, makes that job a little bit easier for the bullpen when they come in.
Go to the 4th row on your left with Dave.
So, Nathan, physically, heck, maybe even mentally, the time that you missed earlier in the season, does that turn into any sort of advantage for you? Do you feel like that has maybe allowed you to be a little stronger, a little sharper at this time of year?
Yeah, I mean, I always think I'm a big believer. Again, things happen for a reason. The stretches that we went on earlier in the season, how well we were playing, to having those struggles, to catching fire at this time again. But my arm, my body feels great. I had that time off where obviously I'm recovering, trying to get healthy again, but also too to lock in on my mechanics. Sometimes when you're out there and you're pitching and everything's going good, you just kind of keep doing the same thing, even though you may not be feeling great. But I feel really good right now, and locked in on my mechanics and stuff again. But I think, again, my body's where it needs to be, especially at this point. Innings wise and things like that. I think we just kind of take that and don't even think about it. We're just so focused on there's 6 more wins to go to get to our ultimate goal.
Go up front here with Kennedy.
Nate, when the Astros have as much success in this ballpark, in particular this year and even the last few years, is that something you guys even think about, or is that something we as the media make too much of?
I don't know. I don't really think about it too much. Again, I think it just comes down to pitching. We got to make sure that we come in locked in from the very first pitch. We know that they're an aggressive team. We know that they're capable of driving the ball out of the ballpark, and the last 2 games they've come out swinging right out of the gate. So we got to make sure that we're prepared for that. These next 2 games, and again, I think the pitching holds the key for everything. So it's as long as we're going out there and we're doing our job, it's going to be a good game for us.
We'll stay right here with Sean.
You mentioned adjustments and facing a team for a second time in one series. Are these adjustments that you make pre-game going into the game, or these adjustments that you're kind of seeing how the game goes and progresses and go from there?
I think it's more so seeing how the game goes. Obviously, I'll come in with my plan of attack, how I want to attack these guys, see if there's any adjustments I need to make from the last time I faced them for certain batters. But for the most part, go out there and use my strengths again and, kind of react to what they're doing up there at the plate. I've said it before, they're a very aggressive team. They're really good at making contact with the ball and making things happen, but just got to keep mixing up my pitches and keeping them off balance.
About 5 rows back on your far left, Steven.
Kind of following up with what Dave was asking a minute ago, you being out with the injury was a little bit of a forced reset, I guess. But at what point when you were building back up without a rehab, did you kind of feel like things were kind of coming back together? And do you kind of feel like you were at the beginning of the year when things were going so well?
Yeah, I definitely feel like I'm where I was at the beginning of the season, like where everything was going really well. Just being able to go deep in the games, especially with them being postseason games, there's a lot on the line. I'm not sure which game it was. It was probably the one after Toronto. I had that start after Toronto, here against Boston. I felt like that one was heading in the right direction. I felt like I started getting back on the right path, and then it was actually the start, my last one against Seattle at their place. Obviously the results weren't the best, but that's probably when I started feeling the best, mechanically and physically, and start trusting those again and going out there and getting back into pitching as opposed to worrying about my mechanics and things like that.
Stay back there with Gabe.
Hey, Nate, you mentioned keeping hitters in a funk. How hard is it to put a team in a funk when the Astros are swinging it like they are? And is that more challenging in the pitch clock era just because you don't have as many means to sort of slow the game down when a team is rolling?
The pitch clock makes it a little difficult just because there's times where, you feel like you're rushed. Sometimes, or a few of the Astros hitters, too, they take their time getting in the box, wait till it's at that 8-second mark, and then they're moving around. And, you just got to make sure that you've got your pitch and you got to wait, until they're ready to go. Putting them in a funk, I think it's more so about you attacking the zone. Again, you're in strike one. We had too many walks last night, kind of put us in a bad spot, giving them free bases. You got to make sure that they earn it all, and ultimately they're going to end up beating you with the home runs. If you can leave it to singles, you have a better chance, I feel like, of getting that double play ball and getting out of those situations.
Took a couple more for Nate. Jeff, right here.
So you're from the Houston area, have a home down there, but during the playoffs, do you stay with the team, or do you go check into the house and mow the yard and fix a faucet or something like that?
In the past I've always done that, but the kids are both my kids are in school, and we got a new little puppy, so she's been barking a lot. So I've been staying at the hotel. This is my first time I've stayed at the hotel, but I've got a lot of friends and family down there, and obviously they'll be going to the games and stuff, but they understand the situation. They're very respectful of it, so it's nice. It's easy.
Anything else for Nate? All right, Nate, thank you so much. Appreciate it. We'll start with Jeff to your right, Bruce.
What, in the postseason, what's the camaraderie like? It seems like everybody shows up together. Everybody stay at the same hotel instead of staying at their house, maybe if they have one in the area. How tight-knit does it get in the postseason?
Well, I think it's similar to the season. Really, when you travel, we're all at the same hotel. I will say tomorrow, we'll travel. The team will travel together. Sometimes, you have a day off. One guy may need to stay back for something, or find his own way there. But no, we'll travel together. But I think anytime you're in the postseason, it does bring the team closer together. You're fighting for a big cause, so that's always a good thing, and helps bring the guys together.
Other questions? We'll go back here.
Bruce, how did the roller coaster of the last month of the regular season prepare you guys for the ups and downs of a playoff series like this?
Yeah, well, good question. It really all season with the ride that we've been on. The streaks, good and bad, injuries, those things. I think they all build character, and it teaches you how important it is to be resilient, to have that ability to bounce back. Nobody thought this was going to be easy. Yeah, we won 2 in Houston, but we know how good they are. So, hey, it's 2-2 now, and this club has bounced back so many times, and I believe in them, and that will never stop.
Other questions? I'll go to the third row in the middle here.
Bruce, what went into the lineup adjustments you made in the batting order, specifically moving Tavares up and moving Garver and Heim down?
Right. I think as much as anything is the way they're swinging the bat. Leo's been swinging it well. So I just decided to move him to that 5 hole. Gives you speed. He's a switch hitter, and his timing's really good. I think a couple guys, it's fair to say, their timing's not quite what it normally is. We're facing a tough pitcher today in Verlander, so I just tweaked it a little bit, and I put Jonah in the 9 hole. He's trying to find that timing, as I was just talking about, and same with Mitch. So I just moved them to the back of the order. That's all. Try to get this offense sparked a little bit.
A bit further back on your left with Gabe.
Hey, Bruce, what's the kind of the plan going forward with John Gray? Does he need to be stretched out more at this point if you want him to make a start eventually down the road, or what do you envision for him this series and going forward?
Yeah, he's not ready to start in this series. Right now, he's going to help us in the bullpen. He can go multiple innings, a couple at least, so that's where he's at right now. I thought this stuff was good when he came in a couple days ago, so that was encouraging. The fastball and the slider and the change I mentioned, so he's fresh. He was off yesterday, so he's available to go today.
Other questions? We'll go back here.
How much do you think Eovaldi's previous postseason experience helps with Sunday? With it being a potential closeout game for either team.
I think anytime you're in a postseason, that's invaluable experience. That's never going to change. Guys learn how to perform under pressure, and it's a different game now. When you've been through it a few times, it's not just good for you as an individual, but with other players, with how you can help them. And Nate's been through a lot, with all his experience in the postseason. So it's good to have him.
Anything else for Bochy? We'll finish up with Andrew right here.
Hey, Bruce, both these pitchers pitched in game 1. What's the balance of them sticking to their game plans and what they did well versus making adjustments when you're facing the same team again a couple days after you played them the first time?
Yeah, I'm sure both will make adjustments. It's what the game's about. And sometimes you have to make adjustments, sometimes you don't. If you're commanding the ball, you're going to stay with your strength, but there's times when you have to adjust on the fly, and that's what good players, great players do, and I think you'll see that today.
Bochy, thanks so much. Appreciate it.